Just when he thought it couldn't get any worse for the Lakers, it gets.
Come on, bro. We know all that shit already. You sound retarded.
There's a lot of things that he was doing that Rock Nation didn't like, but his ability to continue to get over these mountains and hopefully get out of prison for false information. But I'm really looking forward to this project, what's able to come of it, because if anybody deserves the recognition of being literally one of the most talented artists out there, and he already kind of said Slutty Bass is gonna
Not as much time to tell you what's up. It's in Milwaukee, bro. 41 years old. It's two cities I do not like playing in right now. That's Milwaukee. That's it. What is the problem? I don't like going home either. Shit, and I'm from it. What are people are ridiculous. I also get mad at my son doing things too. What are you talking about? We need to talk about other ways to put energy to other things that's important. Like, seriously. I'm not talking about the city, like the people in Memphis. Not as much time to tell you what's up. It's in Milwaukee, bro. 41 years old. It's two cities I do not like playing in right now. That's Milwaukee. That's it. What is the problem? I don't like going home either. Shit, and I'm from it. What are people are ridiculous. I also get mad at my son doing things too. What are you talking about?
Same color my drink, same color my shirt, same color my drink, same color my look to the boys on the chase. Came back with them racks out of state. By the time they realized it'd be too late. After the last night, I got LA by the lane. You can make your way. Gotta realize the JFK. By the rest of flight, I'm still up the stand. I'm way too high. I'm stick with the fan. The bros, they making them sit in the can. Never know who's talking when you ain't around. Niggas so slow, they hate on their names. Corner store hat back to the brand. Dry like a deli. I need that paper. Shorty so sexy, might impregnate her. She said with the heli, what like the pace. With the ice, make her melt like the glacier. She said she ready, she getting it pace. She said they love me, don't know if they make will pay. Back in that truck, toy back. Big body Chevy, American engine. Pushing that bitch to the lift. Big body Chevy, American engine. Pushing that bitch to the lift. Feeling my flow, ain't seen them in a minute. Hard rock flow, he's trapping all in. Jump on floor, photograph in the taste. You, I bitches be yours, and that's what I'm sipping. I should have same color my drink. I should have same color my drink. Got no to the boys of the chase. Came back with them racks out of state. By the time that they realize it'd be too late. It'd be too late. By the time that they realize it'd be too late. It'd be too late.
This is the absolute best phone holder for your car. Your phone clips right into it and it attaches to your rear view mirror. So if you have a rear view mirror, this is for you. You don't have to worry about trying to attach it to your VIN or Now, more unfortunate injury news for the Lakers today. Austin Reeves is out for the rest of the regular season with an oblique injury. Reeves has been having a career year, averaging over 23 points per game. Hate to see that injury, especially at this time for the Lakers. And this comes just 2 days after Luka Doncic injured his hamstring and the Lakers lost to the Thunder. Luka has been ruled out for the rest of the regular season as well.
We've got some NBA action coming up for you.
So, the Lakers are still sitting third in the Western Conference, but they're now playing without their top two scorers in Luka and Austin Reeves. And I mean, just really hate to see that. So I want to begin there with the Lakers and really how, as a group, you are supposed to regroup in light of this news.
This is unfortunate. I mean, they were just starting to reach their ceiling. This is what we all wanted to see from the Lakers offensively, obviously. Defensively, I think JJ and the staff have done a great job of mixing up defenses, keeping those guys engaged, communicating, keeping offenses off balance. It's really unfortunate for them right now. And the unfortunate part about it is this roster is not built to not have those guys. You have some rosters that can sustain it a little while with their main guys out. This roster is not built to sustain it.
The roster is not built to be in a position they're in right now. So the fact that these two guys are out, I mean, you never know. You try to hold down the fort. You try to hold on to that playoff spot you're in now and get to the playoffs, and maybe something happens. It doesn't look good, and it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. But it's a part of basketball. It's unfortunate. Is it possible that stars trying to come back in or finish a game because they know this 65-game rule is going to be back in their head? Like if Luka misses one more, he's like, I got to get back out there. I got to get to that 20-minute mark. Do you think that 65-game rule could be detrimental to injuries like this? Where, hey, if he's like, you know what, I'm not feeling it, hamstrings real tight, I'm going to sit out the second half, get back to it. I don't know. It's just something that popped in my head, but it's always something you think of.
Well, I mean, you certainly could argue that some of the stars that we saw facing unfortunate injuries this season maybe came back at a time because they knew that they were having to beat that mark. And I know that everybody here has their own thoughts about that 65-game rule, but when you are looking at the certain stars that are no longer going to be eligible for some of these things, for me, it's hard to imagine there is a world that it looks exactly like this next season.
I don't know what changes.
Yeah.
I know what changes. Well, yeah, you don't get ruled. That's what changes. We don't know what it changes to. Right. But it has to be something. We all agree it has to be something. You got to draw the line in the sand somewhere. There's always going to be a conversation about who we can go back for because this guy deserves to be in this, unfortunate about this. So wherever the line is wrong, they just got to stand on it.
Yeah, I saw the commissioner came out obviously saying that actually the 65-game rule is doing its job and is having these guys out there, but this was more for load management and not for actually real injuries. So if guys now need to rush back to come back and play and put themselves
like that. I like that type of shit.
Definitely need to revisit this thing, and now some of our best players are not eligible for the top 3 NBA teams and awards, so this is obviously backfiring.
Yeah, that's like the 65-game rule was put into place because of load management and maybe tanking. They're probably more load management. And some of these stars, I mean, I look at Cade Cunningham, and specifically, like, what do we ask our superstars to do? We ask them to, besides their skill set, we ask them to play and we ask them to play hard. Cade Cunningham, the class going to the loose ball. And this is out of a 65-game minimum. That to me is where the rule can't decipher between load management missing games or playing hard, having a real injury, a serious injury that affects everything. So
or making you almost feel bad for being hurt. You don't want it to be that it is you're being reprimanded for the injury or being punished for an injury, and at some point it's going to make you look like that.
So I'm not quite sure. I saw Luka or his team came out with a statement. They're going to file for this exemption. I don't know if you guys saw that. So real injury exception. I'm not quite sure how that works, but maybe there's a backdoor for some of these guys to get back in. I have no idea, but we definitely need to revisit.
Yeah, I mean, certainly let us see. The Stars out for the playoffs. You have 9 days of games left in the regular season. So I want to get you all's philosophy a little bit on matchup hunting. I want to know where you all stand on this because the Cleveland Cavaliers had a few quotes about this. So Kenny Atkinson said that they are thinking about what could be optimal for them when it comes to figuring out who they'd want to play. Donovan Mitchell said, you don't want to play that game. You want to go out there, you want to win. It's bad juju, and the basketball gods don't reward that. Which side are you all on? Kenny Atkinson or Donovan Mitchell?
Now leading by 1.
I would say especially now with the playing game, you could have this team that you're like, oh, that's the matchup we want. It might just not even happen, right? Like, and that's at the end of the regular season. So a lot of times, I think before the playing existed, there were certain times where you could control your own destiny. You can only control your own destiny if you are sort of locked into that spot, and usually that's if you're the lower seed. I would tend to agree, like, you don't want to be that team that's hoping for this matchup, because then it sort of tells another team that you're running from this matchup. It makes you look, it makes you look weak. So I don't know, that's sort of how I feel.
Yeah, we've been in a playoff plenty of time. We've never actually talked matchups. We always kind of played hard to the end. Maybe when you're out, you're resting a bit. But the only time maybe I can remember it backfired on us when we were the 1 seed in my MVP year. And, we rested. Gold State needed to win 8 or 9 games straight. And we actually rested against Gold State just with a couple games left. They won against us, and then they won out. We faced them as a number 8 seed, and the rest of history. So we could have actually, if we played, maybe we would have won. I'm not sure if we would have won, but if we won, we would have eliminated them from the playoffs. And so actually that completely backfired on us, and we lost to the Golden State Warriors. So
basketball's on.
Yeah, we messed with them. They can't afford to not play their best basketball anyway. You need to be playing your best basketball right now down the stretch finishing the season. You don't have any reason to be not playing your best basketball right now. You need to focus on that, and especially with these teams that are fighting to get in. You do not want to take your foot off the gas and run into one of these buzzsaws who've been fighting the last month and a half to get in the playoffs, like you talked about. And now you're not in that mindset, and they've been in battle mode for the last 2 months. You're in for a hell of a ride, so you don't want that. Finish the season strong, please. Don't play that game.
Yeah.
Don't play that game.
Yeah, no, I love it. And also just for some clarification on what you said about Luka appealing that role, it is because he missed 2 games for the first 6 games. So they're saying extraordinary circumstances. So, see how some of that pans out. I'm Taylor Rose with NBA on Prime. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to see interviews with your favorite players, experience the most exciting moments from around the league, and see what the NBA on Prime crew is up to all season long. And remember, you can hang out with us live each week during the NBA season.
Fuck me, Book. Oh, shit.
Booker with the jam. I guess Booker wants to play with his food before he eats. Now here's Reeves.
It has been an eventful season so far, and there has been a lot of surprises, some good surprises, some bad surprises. Let's talk about ones that stuck out to us. Thought I was
First 2 points.
Well, there's a few things. Really just coming out of this highlight, like the Charlotte has done after their slow start. Stop playing with me, nigga. Hang that shit up. A couple of weeks, I would say you're out shit out of your mind. They're having a great season. That should be fun to watch and playing. But the real surprise is probably San Antonio Spurs. And people are probably going to say, what? I just did not think they were already a 60-win team this year. Wemby took another leap on both ends, and he looks like the most dominant player we have in our game. I didn't think the guards would take a leap that fast. Stephon Castle, incredible.
Wow, nigga, who the fuck I am? Jackson Davis.
Play like a rookie.
Jackson
All the role players are all shooting the ball out. Kevin Johnson probably 6
Dodge Mania, nigga.
So they're well coached. They always compete. They move the ball.
Shit.
Solid defensive.
That's a foul, nigga. Let that nigga know when.
That's for the first-year coach.
Oh, he tried.
Well, I guess splash, but still, first year of actually being, solidified as the head coach.
Oh, yeah, he tried. He should have went the first time, nigga. Doodle was shit.
Spurs really tested
Hang it up, nigga. My nigga, D-Book ain't for you.
Hang it up, nigga. Been touting. Well, what's big enough to beat you?
Oh, shit.
For me, I gotta stick with my boys in Boston. Of course, this is a team that everybody thought, okay, they were playing. Jaylen Brown by himself. They lose Al Horford, they lose Drew Holiday.
Best ball shooter in the league. Is you crazy?
And you got Jalen Brown, you got Derek White, sure, but then bench to start.
He should have kept going with that. He trash. You
Young guys, Gonzalez,
don't know how to move the D-book. Get that shit the fuck out of here.
No one.
Get that shit the fuck out of here.
Outside of that locker room thought that they were going to be season. And now,
oh, he's trash. What the fuck is wrong with this thing? VD, mom, man.
It was going to take a little bit stuff, but for a guy that underwent,
this thing ain't got what it takes, man.
And now a timeout called
he
by
looked great, though.
You see it all on his face, man. He got the taste.
Of their staff over there for just the brand of basketball they coach and teach and preach because it's shown throughout the season.
In this year's GM survey, the Celtics received just one vote to finish the season top 4 in the East. So it was the Celtics locker room and that guy. Congratulations, UT, biggest surprise for you.
A couple, but I gotta go with the Phoenix Suns. I mean, about a year ago, we thought Matt Ricky was probably working on in basketball. I had to look up the coach. I didn't know where he came from. Found out that he was under Atkinson. Spent some time with the Darvingham, and he went up to LA with Steve Nash. So I had to look these things up. The KD trade didn't go through. You got back Dylan Brooks. You got back Jalen Green. We don't know what that story is going to be with these guys. James Jones leaves. You have to rely on young guys. You have to rely on Gillespie. Grayson Allen, who's been a journeyman in the round. You don't know how this is going to pan out.
Yeah, good shit, Bobby.
Guys, when you start to put it together, he looks in and out, he stays healthy, but they're starting to play the game the right way. They're coming together, and as we talk about habits so many times, this team has good habits. They compete as much as they can on both ends of the basketball. They try to play the game the right way. They try not to foul. They get up and down. They enjoy one another's success. You know, so I look at this team right now, I'm very impressed with them. I did not think they would be nowhere near the playoffs right now. They're sitting out there.
Oh, yeah, Brody, get that, Brody!
And they have a ton of injuries. If Brooks is not out there long.
Shout out that nigga Brody. You know what the fuck he's doing. He need both.
Yeah, it's interesting, too. I mean, with all these surprise teams, we talk about how good the coaching staffs are. And the type of basketball that can't go overlooked. Every single one of those teams, you're not first-year head coach. Johnson, we'll call him first-year head coach. I mean, to be able to come in with young-ish teams and do that is very surprising. It's a nice surprise.
Yeah, certainly a nice surprise. I'm Taylor Rose with NBA On Time. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to see interviews with your favorite players, experience the most exciting moments from around the league, to see what the NBA On Time crew is up to all season long. And remember, you can hang out with us live each week during the NBA season only on Time.
So he just drops it in like he's at the rec league. Kicks it to Doncic. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Here's James.
How you like those glasses?
Other than having to take them off to read, okay?
Ever tried Progressive?
And that one off the back of the
What if I told you that extended get Progressive, a free eye exam, free anti-glare, and all for just $135?
Let's take one right now.
Oh my!
Hey, look at your ass blowing all over the place. Badass. Get your ass right.
Plays like that one.
When I started my record label, the business side of things,
you got a record label.
Bench on their feet too. And you can feel the jolt of energy that he's seeing through his team. That is a huge boost in a tight game like this. And the first half comes to an end. We've got a close game going here. The Lakers on top, up by 3. Stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started. And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during halftime.
Golden State Warriors have lost 3 straight, but have clinched the play-in barely, the 10 seed in the West. But Steph Curry expected back tonight against the Rockets after missing the previous 27 games with a right knee injury. Here is Curry speaking on the return.
Off the glass.
It was great. It's been a long,
Dude thought he could guard me.
It's
crazy.
long process, longer than I thought, but just happy to have a little clarity.
I always got somebody somewhere to get back out there.
Try to get to the level I was playing at and finish the year strong, so I'm excited. Every day I wake up, first thing you think about is how does it feel. So that unpredictability was definitely a struggle throughout the whole process, and even still now, because as good as I do feel now, I hope it stays that way. It's just a matter of getting out there and seeing.
Good shit.
We're going to see tonight against the Rockets. Right now, you are seeing NBA reporter Tim McMahon on your screen. Tim, good morning. Howdy to you. What do you think the goal is returning to this line with 5 games left in the regular season?
Trailing by 5.
Good shit, yes, 2 in a row.
Seasons to chip off rust, trying to establish some sort of a rhythm after sitting out basically a third of the season. Obviously, hoping that that knee doesn't act up on him again, that he's not dealing with soreness, with inflammation. And then the goal for the Golden State Warriors is real simple: win 2 playing games. The Warriors understand they're going to be in the 9-10 playoff playing game. This is not where they wanted to be, but this is the reality of the situation, and they're not allowed to make. So they're going to have to win 2 playing games to earn the right to play.
Oh yeah, oh damn, I say you missed that. Oh yeah, you're right.
Oklahoma City Thunder in the first round of playoffs.
They have the Rockets, they have the Kings twice, the Lakers, and the Clippers. So not necessarily an easy last 5 games. Let's talk about the Lakers right now. Back-to-back massive blows to their roster. First Luka with a hamstring, now Austin Reeves with an oblique injury. How do you see the Lakers now? The 3rd seed in the West getting through the regular season into the playoffs.
I mean, what a massive just blow to the Lakers after a spectacular March where they go 15-2, and Luka Doncic is lighting the league on fire. They've got this clearly established pecking where everything's falling in place with LeBron James and this less is more number 3 option. Well, breaking news: LeBron James is the Lakers' primary option at the age of 41, and is likely going to have to be through the 6-week type of injuries. So, Luka Doncic are very unlikely to be ready for the start of the first round, maybe not at all in the first round, and the Lakers are going to have to fight to hold on to the 3 seed.
I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you. I'm with you. Ride or die. Ride or die.
Yeah, so they do have a couple of layups on the rest of the schedule.
Oh, yeah. What's up?
How exactly they put the pieces together to be able to win that first round series is
no smoke for real. Look at him. That nigga stuck like Chuck. Nigga. Like that nigga Chuck Barkley. He stuck that nigga like Chuck Barkley.
Oh, man, he can't get anything
That's Tim McMahon joining us this morning on Sports and with the Lakers going on in the Western Conference. And much appreciated. Nikola Jokic going the Nuggets in Denver at altitude. The 4 seed is Denver. They've won 7 straight. Something has to give. Jokic, Cam Johnson, you heard the whistle, you saw the triple. That's a 4-point play. Just like they drew it up. Nuggets down by 2. We're all in the 4th quarter at this point. The Nuggets were up 13 in the 2nd quarter. They're pushing.
Yeah, that game was lit. That's the OT. That's the overtime game, right?
And then Wemby to a high flyer because, of course, the thin altitude. It's 5280. It's a mile above sea level. He's double teamed. It is Jokic, which leaves the door open for Aaron Gordon. Hey, Ron. He lives in a condominium.
Hey, Ron. Trash.
6 seconds to go. Victor Wembanyama. He is the game sealer, just not right here. Falling away baseline is a decent look off the front of the list. Brandon, you're a bit lippy.
You always do that falling away baseline.
124, we go to OT. It's Jokic backing down Wemby, and this is just ball knowledge. Look at how high he has to get it over the outstretched arms of the alien.
Look at trash, man. Hurry the fuck up. Wasting my time and shit, boo-boo ass.
That's just poetry. It's art. 133-129. The Nuggets are up with less than a minute to go, but it's Wemby, man. He's going to get his 34 points, 18 boards, 7 assists, 5 blocks, just filling up the box score. We got a deflection. To sell, no. Also, no. 20 seconds to go. The deficit is 2 for these Spurs again, trying to get to a 12-game win streak. It's not going to happen. Jokic had 40 points, 13 dimes, 0 turnovers, and Denver now has the longest win streak in the NBA. It is. All right, what about the 1 seed in the East? That's the Pistons. They can wrap that up for the first time since 06-07 with a win over the Sixers in Philadelphia. Dennis Jenkins continues to ball out in the absence of Cade Cunningham. He finds Jalen Duren. Pistons up 4 after the made free throw. Paul Reed with a steal. And then Jenkins, back to Reed. Reed won 7 Pistons in double figures. This was a balanced breakfast here. Under 2 minutes left in the second quarter. Jenkins now getting his. He had 14 dimes, He also filled it up a little bit. 21 assists on 27 made field goals in the first half for the Pistons. Here's more from Jenkins and more from the outside. A triple, 16 points, 14 dimes, third career double-double, all of them coming this season. Tobias Harris going against one of his former teams. He finds a Sark Thompson. Okay.
What the fuck, bro? You trash. Hurry the fuck up.
33 assist performance for the Pistons. And then Harris led his current team in scoring against his former team. And let him know about it. Pistons wrap up that 1 seed, 116-93. Phillies lost, dropping them to the 7th spot in the East. Despite being without the Cadillac, the Pistons win locks them as the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference for the first time since that 06-07 campaign. However, that season, they went on to lose to the LeBron James-led Cavaliers in the conference final.
Started with a 31-point first quarter. He set the tone early.
This nigga damn his ass.
105 left to the third.
Don't start crazy. This nigga's trash.
O'Neal's got 8 points. You give a shooter
This is a surreal moment to be talking with somebody who I love.
All right, what would Bam Adebayo have for an encore against the Wizards of Washington, who were down in Houston? Gave up 83 the last time they played. Bam triple teamed on the Heat's first possession. Wizards were like, no, we're not doing this again. Adebayo said, they did their job. I only got 6 attempts.
How bad can you do
over there? But, all right, you don't have more attempts. Howard Larson, he had 10 attempts. This one the easiest of the day. A lot of instances. I'm not saying he traveled, but he's got a lot on that last gather. 16 points for Larson. Adebayo going to find Jaime Jaquez Jr., who after the end one, and after the game, takes part in Phoenix. His sister, Gabriela Jaquez, played the Women's National Championship game later today. That was Adebayo, 3 of his 18 points, with 9 rebounds and 7 dimes. He played 20. Jaquez Jr. at 32 points. Second 30-point game of the season off the bench. Khalil Ware had 24 points. 152 total points for the Heat, the second most in franchise history. They rolled late in July. The fight to finish in the East. Raptors currently out of the play-in mix. They're in the 6th spot with about a week left in the season, and the Sixers are close behind in the 17th. Miami in 10th, but look at the difference between 10 and 6, just 2.5 games. The Golden State Warriors have lost 3 straight, but they have clinched the play-in berth. Barely. They are the literal 10 seed in the West right now, but they get good news for Steph Curry, expected back tonight against the Rockets after missing the previous 27 games with a right knee injury. Here is Curry, speaking on his return.
Takes a 3.
Good day.
That one's good.
Been a long process, longer than I thought, but I'm just happy to have a little clarity and a little window to get back out there and try to get to the level I was playing at and finish the year strong. So I'm excited. Every day I wake up, first thing you think about is how to defeat. So that unpredictability was definitely a struggle throughout the whole process, and even still now, because as good as I do feel now, I hope it stays that way. It's just a matter of, getting out there and seeing it.
Taxes with more questions than answers. Now taxes.
That's where I'm letting go because you're supposed to call a foul, bro.
And really take
I can literally hit green. It's just
taxes.
They're not calling the fuck. Like, bro, what the fuck are you doing?
Here's Reeves.
Sarah Benzina. Brandon Cole. Kozlowski Auto Body, LLC.
Bitch ass nigga not calling the foul.
I need to block the auto body LLC.
Yes, for the truth, maybe.
You know, like stadiums do. Kids are so expensive these days. Here you go.
Oh, it's 3, 10, and 5.
Listen, not for nothing, you wake up at the 30-something, Steph Curry is 38 years young. Everybody wakes up at the 30 years young. It has everything to it. Including Mark Shumpert, who's going to right now on the desk to talk ball. What is the expectation team for Steph Curry and this Warriors team? It is a playing team. If they win a couple games, and he's healthy, and he's playoff Steph, could be no problem.
I think that it's a wonder for him. We got our guys coming back. We don't have to put expectations on him. I think the Warriors have given us enough basketball, enough highlights that we can all enjoy what they did. The cool thing about having Steph come back is nothing's off the table. Sure, play-in tournament, fine. But you roll the dice with Steph Curry, I think you got a lot to smile about. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys that has plenty of experience. He's got plenty of tips to go with it. If you're Golden State and he's coming back, you just want him to be healthy and for him to be confident, because that confidence is going to trickle down to the rest of your ball court.
5 games left in the regular season. I guess what do you need to see from him in the next handful of games to be like, oh, wait a minute, he feels good. He feels great.
I don't know if I can see just a little shimmy. I get a little shimmy to let me know that you really locked in, and then we can go from there. Just give me the little shimmy.
We might take the shimmy tonight. He in back against the Rockets, who of course are hoping to make some noise in their own right out west. Speaking of, let's stay in the Western Conference. LeBron James, you want to chip with LeBron, so you know what it takes when you see him in playoff mode. No Luka, right? And now Austin Reeves with an oblique injury. What do you need to see out of LeBron James to sort of carry this Lakers team through the next 5 games of the regular season and potentially get out of the first round?
Well, I think LeBron knows if you got those two guys down, it now becomes completely on the defensive side of the ball. How can we get things done? How do we make this easier? How do we make it to where my decisions become, more relevant in the aspect of things, thinking, hey man, we're going to get stops, we're going to get rebounds, we're going to hang our hats on the defensive end, we're going to keep the game within 6 to 8 points, and at the end of the game, I'm still LeBron James. That still can go back to the basket, and I can still make everybody a weapon out here. So I think they can trust in that. I think it might actually help a little bit if we can get those soft tissue injuries to heal up by the second round. Sure, I think LeBron is as good as anybody at knowing a matchup and being able to exploit it. I wouldn't, if I'm the Lakers, I wouldn't panic too much knowing that I have 2 threes. I would just panic every 41 minutes.
You see that switch literally turn, though, from regular season LeBron to take over playoff LeBron. You think he still has a little bit of that?
Yeah, still got that in the tank, but I think that he's going to have to lean on his guys. Because those got something in the tank. LeBron is preparing to be the third. Sure. You know what I mean? He has stuff in the tank, but we have stuff in the tank to say, hey, this is not compliment me, this is going to compliment Austin. I'll inject myself back in here to make sure we get the lead. So I think that now,
I think we're going to get the ball on his head.
We just playing really well. And then those guys off the bench, those guys that are just it seems like a role that's not as big. So he's huge when you talk about Luka having defenders, guys making second help, third help rotation. When those things are happening, it makes basketball easier, it makes basketball fun. But if you can keep the situation close, LeBron James is going to take it.
That shows. You would know. When it's with LeBron,
To the association school, we have to will keep them out for well over a month. The Lakers win yesterday, they're cooked. Because they'll be without Austin Reeves for the remainder of the regular season with a left oblique injury. Our John Ferrari is reporting Reeves expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks, meaning LA will be without Reeves and Luka when the playoffs begin in less than 2 weeks. The Lakers had a 40-1 odds to win the title. That's according to DraftKings Sportsbook. But that number shifted after the Luka injury, dropping them to 100-1. Then came the news about Reeves' injury. The odds slid to 120-1. They're now 400-1, tied with the Warriors and the Raptors for 16th in the league. All right, the champions here, our NBA analyst, Imam Shumpert is here with us on Sports. By the way,
After you please, bro.
to see you here in studio. So, look, who will leave here for the Lakers? You're playing for that Lakers squad. You're in your locker room. You get the Lakers getting position.
Well, I'm thinking that this is the reason you have LeBron James that you just and say, hey man, I can play the third option if you need me to. But look,
Discover Luca Filoni, where timeless Italian craftsmanship meets modern sophistication. Our connection with
LeBron James is one of the most responsible guys saying, hey, guys, I got you. You know what I mean? I've been on a team with LeBron James.
Clutch right now. He don't know what to do.
We make things easy, and then at the end of the game, you let him make decisions, and that's what he becomes today. Okay, he's 41 now. He is. It does become even more difficult. It's definitely more difficult, but at least for Sunday, I'm sure he knows he has risen. He has risen up the ranks now. He is the #1 option. You see what I'm saying? And anytime you have LeBron James as the #1 option, you have to have somewhat of an ability to say, hey, I can relax as long as this game stays close. I know that he knows other coaching staff. He knows other schemes. He knows every player that's on the floor. If LeBron James decides that his locker room can be behind him, I think that they can have confidence to win at least a couple of games in this 2 weeks. I like that. I like how what you do. I know you didn't hurt with a the Lakers won 4 this season in games when they don't have Luka in Austin Reeves. So Steph Curry expected to return today against the Rockets. You look at the Warriors right now in the play, and they'd have to win 2 games, and obviously if they want to get into the playoffs, the likelihood though they Golden State can make some noise. Well, anytime you have Steph Curry, you got to change. Like I said, when you get all the players, the only thing you need is certain components of the basketball club, right? You got to be able to defend. You got to have to, in this league, you got to be able to make threes. So when you have guys on this team that can make threes, you can trust behind the Steph Curry. He's already given everybody the blueprint on how it should go. So I think that they become dangerous knowing that they're not having any pressure on them. They don't have to win. They don't have to win. It's going to be a different point if they can't make sure that they get to the next round. So they're really out here to ruin other people's dreams. He had a rule of hopes and dreams, man. I think that when Steph comes back, it's a danger for the rest of the guys because even if you felt like you were solidified, you feel like this guy really can make the most. By the way, the last 27 games with that league. And you might remember Golden State last year got out of the play-in and won in the first round of the playoffs. Rockets, you know, that like it, man. Exactly. With the green eyes. All right, so let's start back here. The Spurs Nuggets, that game that we just showed here earlier. Great game between Wemby and Jokic. I thought it was interesting that Wemby said, quote, that everything that happened in that game was good for us. He talked about his team. What was your biggest takeaway? My biggest takeaway, I had 2 takeaways, The first takeaway was I did not know that Denver's guards could handle that defensive pressure from the Spurs. I think that the Spurs backcourt does a really good job of pressing people, speeding people up, and they change pace up when they get on offense. So it doesn't get talked about much because we highlight Wemby so much. Yeah, but the Spurs backcourt is actually really good, even though not experienced as everybody else. They are really good and they're a tough matchup to deal with for 48 minutes. I thought that Denver did a great job of handling their pressure, staying tough, and making sure to stay on the attack. Now, the second thing, I took away that Jokic and Wemby, that was a little personal. You know, Wemby had made those comments.
Go, man, get us
somebody in the
money,
man,
get us.
I get everything that's going on. Y'all a bunch of grown men, and y'all need to say something about it. I think that Jokic made a statement game to say, hey, man, I understand you're doing great. We love that you're playing well. We love that you're one of the faces of the league. Did you forget who I am? Because here it goes, a nice walk-off bucket. Then it was a defensive stop, and then it was another little floater over him, but it was all to let him know, hey, young fella, make sure you get some wins under your belt before you start talking. I like it, by the way. Joker, 40 points, 1 turnovers in that game. By the way, who's your MVP right now? Oh, Lord, y'all keep doing this. Come on. Is it Wemby? Is it SGA? Who is it? Shea Butter, man. You got right now it's Shea Butter. Oh, man. Man, I might be ashy. It's Shea Butter. That's your mind jumper. Appreciate it. Yeah, of course, man.
How do we stop it?
We need someone who can code and Kobo.
What's Kobo?
Indeed can help you get it right the first time. Sponsor your job on Indeed and get matched with quality candidates. Visit Indeed.com/hiring.
So J.J. Redick calls for the timeout. And a great call on his part. This is the time you want to be in sync right here. All right, guys, how do you see him managing this?
A lot of talk out there saying there's no defense in the NBA. But you hear what we say there. Thinking about this, and that's what
What's going on, guys? It is WrestleMania here, back with another video. Yes, I am back, and what a great time to be back to cover WWE. I mean, seriously, what the hell are WWE even doing right now? Anyway, let's save it for the review. Just join us now as we look at this week's edition of SmackDown, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. As WWE just had the worst reveal ever with huge backlash, WWE actually had plans for Chris Jericho. Disco Inferno is not happy with Cody Rhodes. Pat McAfee doubles down after SmackDown. Hashtag by Triple H and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. As always, we'll recap the show, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good. It's number one, R-Truth and Danhausen are comedy gold. Now, it may not be to everyone's taste, but SmackDown did deliver a masterclass in sports entertainment, as R-Truth and Damian Priest successfully defended their tag team titles against the unlikely duo of Dick Wilson and Nash. While some hate this kind of silliness in matches, maybe it wasn't that bad, and it was a little break on the more serious storylines. One of the biggest talking points was Danhausen, as he made an accidental curse on the referee, which caused the official's arm to cramp up and failed to count for the pin for the Miz. Yeah, it is dumb and silly, but the thing is, it pairs perfectly with Danhausen's character. This guy isn't supposed to be the biggest top wrestler in the WWE. He is there simply for comedy, and that's what he delivers. The pairing of Priest and R-Truth continues to connect with the audience, and with even some dubbing the team as the Holy Truth, praising their chemistry as the perfect blend of strength and humor. Number two, Cody Rhodes is legit pissed off. And this week on SmackDown, Cody Rhodes was attacked by Pat McAfee, who was revealed as Randy Orton's mystery caller, but more on that later. McAfee insulted the state of WWE and blamed Cody